Alrighty then. This is our Saturday weekly live stream. Usually I just call them the weekend live streams because sometimes I do them on Fridays, sometimes I do them on Saturdays, sometimes I do them on Sundays, but usually it's start off Saturday weekly, and it usually is on a Saturday. So if you're new to live streams, what these are all about is once a week on Saturdays usually, I will answer your guys' questions. Not because I have an ego and I want to talk about myself, but because I want to help, right? I want to provide what mentoring that I can and help anybody out, because I know finding somebody to get my questions just to maybe even just get, yeah, man, that's a great idea, you're going in the right direction, that sort of stuff, it really helps you mature and just sort of understand, like, give you some confidence as well as some guidance. So that's what this is about. I do these also every 1,000 subscribers. So that's a little bit of what this whole weekend live stream is about. So whatever questions you have, sometimes people want me to look at their portfolios. Some people want me to look at their resume, their websites, whatever it is. Look at the code, say, hey, how can I make this better? And hopefully I can give some advice. So that is that. So let's go ahead and talk a little bit about what's going on with me as a person, as a developer, while we wait for people to funnel in. I released my very first course called which is essentially it's currently called Learn Angular by Projects Part 1, but I think I'm changing the title to Angular 360 Part 1. Gotta use that branding. So I'll be doing that. But I'll be giving away one of those during the live streams. So on these weekend live streams, a new thing that's going to be happening is I'm going to be giving one away every single weekend that I do this. Let me actually turn the AC on real quick, guys. It's really hot in here. Yeah, so we'll be giving one of those away. I haven't really decided how or to who or anything like that, but somebody will get a course. That's one thing to look forward to. And I'm also working on my JavaScript 360 course, where currently I have over 120 videos. So I'm really trying to touch everything I can in that course, and hopefully a lot of you will enjoy it. A lot of you will see that it has a lot of value, try and help you out. Good morning, Jordan. Good morning. Yeah, so that's what I'm working on. Oh, I also have Angular 360 Part 2, which is actually a full stack mean project. And I finished the rough draft of the content. There's some bugs I have to work out. Hi, when you make a complete course in Angular 2, well, my course isn't a complete course. It's kind of a one-off project, and the second one covers a lot more advanced topics, such as routing, such as authentication, such as services, as well as some MongoDB, Node, and Express. So it's one of those things where you're gonna pick up a little in each one. It's gonna be fun, man. Don't worry. Yeah, I don't plan on actually making a full Angular tutorial. There's just so much that you couldn't do it. Like Maximilian's course has 26 hours of content, and all it is a full Angular tutorial. There's a lot going on in that framework. But I prefer building projects. That's how I learn. And so the format of the courses that I do is first we wireframe it out so that you can see what it is that we're building, and then we go ahead and we go and that's what I'm looking for. We go and we build it the one time, and then we refactor it, and then I give you features to build on your own so that you can learn from that. Up early? It's not that early. It's 8:30, man. I get up at 6:30 every day and work for an hour, and then I slept in today. So slept until 7:30 today. Godzilla, welcome. So I recently, it's very strange to talk so casually over the internet about your sort of issues you're having. But recently I've been having, but I think talking about things helps things, because it lets you air out. So I have, so as an introvert, and I consider myself a bit of an introvert, much better than I used to be. But recently I sort of have been having anxiety again, and I'm not quite sure why. I think it's just a combination of being overwhelmed and other things. But I think it is something that developers in general have a lot of, and that's kind of what it plays into with the whole imposter syndrome thing. And I think it's a little bit of imposter syndrome and a little bit of just standard anxiety. And so it's been interesting to try and see how mentally I can overcome these things, because I'm very aware of it. So what I've been doing is, as I drink this monster, it's a Saturday, so I allow myself one monster for the week on Saturdays. Preface that. I've gotten rid of caffeine as much as I can. So I'm down to 2 coffees a day at work, and I'm trying to get it down to 1 coffee a day and then no coffee. And then eventually I'll give up caffeine entirely, because that really doesn't help with anxiety. It makes you jittery, all this sort of stuff. Although I kind of like being jittery. Is that kind of strange? But yeah, so I've also tried to step out of my comfort zone to force myself to adapt. So last Friday, not yesterday, but a week ago, I went to the bar with a bunch of coworkers, and not necessarily even people I worked with. Only 2 people there that I really worked with. The other 9 I didn't know. Some who were like bosses of my bosses, and it was an interesting experience. Part of the reason that I wanted to go was I had been feeling this anxiety and this anxiousness for about a week at this point. And so I am a believer that you go and tackle that. And so I went and hung out for like 6 hours, and I still feel drunk. No, but it was a good time. But part of the reason that I forced myself to go is I wanted to step outside my comfort zone. So the reason I bring this up is not to complain about my own personal anxiety, but I think it's probably a fairly common thing that developers have in general, because most of us, I would say the majority of developers, at least at one point in time, were introverts. And I would say that helped me a little bit. Not entirely, but if you are having anxiety of your own as a developer, imposter syndrome or whatnot, there's a couple things you can do about it. One, you can objectively look at why you're having it. 2, you can just try the things that make you anxious. You can just go and do them, tackle them. And that's kind of my approach, because once you do that, it's like, well, that wasn't so bad, right? So anyhow, that's my 2 cents on stress and anxiety and whatnot. Are you planning on making a mean framework course? Well, the Angular 360 Part 2 course does Node, MongoDB, Express, and Angular. And yeah, I mean, I don't, in all honesty, I don't know enough Mongo, and I don't know enough Node and Express to make a course. I can build a project using it and just kind of figure out what I need here or there. But I don't work in the stuff, so I don't spend enough time in those things to showcase, okay, let me show you the ins and the outs. Like, I could show you how to do a Git, how to do a post, what packages you typically would use, all that sort of stuff. That's fine. I can do that. But actually building a course, oh, yeah, I don't know. Unless I were to get a role that's in Node and Express and MongoDB, which I would love, would absolutely love. I don't foresee that happening in my future. Yeah. Good morning, Robert. Also, in a personal note, why I personally may be feeling a little stressed and a little anxious is a sick. Now, I just woke up. it takes me a little while for my voice to. All right, that might be a little bit better. Is that better? So it takes me a little while to wake up. Until I have my caffeine, which I'm currently digesting, I sound like I'm exhausted, because I am. So yeah, so on a personal note, a lot of changes going on in my life, right? Waiting on April to get a job, so that was something that kind of halted our plans. So that added a little stress to life. Not that it's her fault, but that happens, right? And then was looking for a house to buy. That kind of that's off the plate now, but kind of stressful because I wanted to do that. And then also going back to school, which I will be starting January 1st, maybe February 1st. So just a lot of changing parts. And I'm pretty comfortable at my job, but it's still a new job, right? I have my 3-month mark in a week and a half or so. Arun Kumar, welcome. I like that you're streaming on Twitch. Yeah, so if you guys don't know, I am simulcasting. Is that what it's called? Restreaming it, simulcasting it. We have 3 people over on Twitch. You'll notice I have the chat and it has a little YouTube icon. If those Twitch people want to say, F those dudes on YouTube, you know that they're from Twitch with the Twitch icon. But so this is going back and forth, streaming to both platforms. Part of the reason for it is the very practical one that YouTube's been demonetizing every single one of my videos, and it's been really unmotivating to make content when that happens. So that's the very practical reason. And also the reason that I've been starting to do courses and working on clothes and things like that, because if YouTube's going to demonetize my videos, I have to find another way to monetize myself. Because although I do this and it's great for my portfolio and it's great for me as a developer, I do plan to make some money from it, although I don't make a ton of money. But if they're going to demonetize my videos, I have to protect myself. So that's hence the Twitch. So now we will always be, when we're doing the live streams, streaming to Twitch. Now these weekend ones usually stay up on the main channel, on the YouTube channel. But if you ever notice during the week that I'm live streaming and I'm working on my course, I'm working on my project, go ahead and jump over onto the Twitch page, because I take those down and those videos are recorded there. So you're like, damn man, Dylan was going deep into this meme stack project, and I know he deletes it on his YouTube channel. Yes, the live streams are up over there, because I usually listen to music. I don't get ad revenue. Should we switch to Twitch then? No, I wouldn't say that, just because I don't get ad revenue from Twitch yet. I don't get anything from Twitch, but it is another platform that I'll expose my YouTube channel to people on Twitch who may discover it, and then the people on YouTube may also want to watch it on Twitch. But as of right now, I don't even monetize my live streams at all until after the fact, because they just demonetize every single one. So this is really just something that I'm doing out of the goodness of my heart. This is basically my face with YouTube right now. This angry Yoshi. But it's just another platform. Anyhow. Should we where are you going to school for? Software engineering. Yeah. Now, it's just an interesting thing, because I've gone back and forth on this for about a year or two, and ever since I dropped out, I've been going back and forth. Am I going to go back? When am I going to go back? Under what circumstances? I finally found the right one. And a lot of people ask, like, do I have to have a computer science degree to be a developer? No. But how hard do you work? So a lot of people think that getting a degree is really hard. It's a different type of hard. You have to go to class. You have to hand in assignments that don't really do much for you. It's definitely work. But if you are looking to be a developer, you can be a developer without getting a degree. Now, I'll be a senior developer in about 2 years. I'll be making stupid money. And At least I hope, anyhow, right? I don't have a degree yet, but I plan on knocking my degree out in the next year. Not necessarily because I need it to be a senior developer. It's going to put a cap on my income. The main issue is that what if I want to go beyond a senior developer? That's where I think you need the degree. Now, there are companies that will turn you down entirely, won't even interview you, and I've had it happen to me personally, so I can say it's a fact. But there are a lot of companies that will hire good developers and not care if you have a degree or not. What are you working on right now? Well, I'm working on my JavaScript 360 course. I'm working on Angular Part 2. I'm working on YouTube videos. I have a couple of videos I need to film. Dev Mountain has decided to sponsor the channel again, which is very cool. So I have a nice monthly sponsor, and I have another sponsored video for a platform that's coming out. So I have like 4 videos I need to record, and one I have done that I need to upload, make thumbnail for. It's a pretty exciting one. It's something that I've only been putting up one video a week lately because I've been so busy. But I've also kind of just fallen in love into writing code. So I come home, I write code. I don't film videos. Even though videos take a couple hours, it's not like a total investment of time. It is something I have to give up actual coding. What makes one a senior developer? A couple things. Experience is the first one, right? So somewhere between 3 to 5 years experience. I've always said 5, but other developers who are much more senior than I am have said 3. So 3 to 5 years of experience will make you a senior developer. Also, it's what changes when you become a senior developer as part of that question. You might be a little bit more involved in architecture decisions. You might have to mentor junior developers. But it's a combination of skill and it's a combination of experience, and then your job changes slightly from being a junior to a senior. Can you tell me how to get a job as a front-end developer as a fresher? I guess as an entry-level person. Well, I have a video called Top 5 Things You Can Do That You Must Do to land a job as a web developer in 2018. And I also have a job saying the skills you need to be a front-end developer. I highly encourage you to watch both those videos, and they'll help you out in the process. Do you like React? I like React. I built about 5 projects in it. I find Angular 1 easier. I would say that I find Angular 1 easier as well. So how many people do you work with that have degrees? I would say it's about about 2/3 have a degree of some type and 1/3 do not. Kevin, what's going on, man? That Litecoin, though. That Litecoin. Kevin, I think you sold all your Bitcoin, if I remember correct, Kevin. Did you hold on to any Litecoin? Litecoin's exploding right now. But yeah, I mean, the thing about a degree is it does nothing but help you if you're smart, right? There's a lot of people who don't have the confidence to ask for raises or leave a job for money. I'm not one of those people. I'll totally, if I think I'm getting screwed in money, I'll go ask for more, and if I don't get it, I'm not just gonna take it. So I'm very aware of the job market and what I'm worth. And I think you should be. There's nothing wrong with that. For me, a degree is just something to pad the resume. Do I have a degree? No, I don't. But that's why I'm going back. Something to pad the resume, make me more confident to be like, hey, I just spent $10,000 finishing up my degree. I want $10,000 more dollars. Maybe not like that, but you definitely put yourself in a position where you're more valuable, right? It does nothing but help you. Ola, do you think that framework is more valuable than a language? More valuable? A framework plays on top of a language. So you got to know the language, at least the bulk of the language, to use the framework. It's a strange question. You need both is the question. If you're trying to find out if you need to learn a framework or if you're trying to focus on the language, you need both. Love the new job. Is it for CS or is it for software engineering? So not exactly CS. How much algorithm work do you do on a day-to-day basis in your current job? Zero. And most of you will too. Yeah, I do a lot of CRUD applications or Dirk apps, as I like to call them. You know, you got to swap it up, delete, update, read, create. Yeah, I do a lot of CRUD apps. Build widgets here or there. It all just depends, but yeah, most places you don't really do too much algorithms. It depends on the business, though. It's a fair statement to say that it is a skill needed because it shows that you can do critical thinking. But is it actually a practical skill? No, not really. Let's see here. It says, I'm in DevOps, Dylan, working on Udemy to learn DevOps practices, but I want to code so badly. Should I continue coding? How would it affect my future jobs if I switch from DevOps to a developer? Honestly, I think if that's what you want to do, that's what you should do. If you're not happy in DevOps and you want to switch to a developer role, do it. Put in the time, put in the effort, put in the energy, and you may have to take a slight pay cut depending on your years in DevOps. But I think it's not really, though. I think you'll do just fine. But I would highly encourage you to do it if that's what makes you happy. But I also think it makes you a valuable tool, right? So a lot of smaller businesses, you know, the reason they go with full stack developers instead of specialists is because they want someone who can kind of do everything. So if you can do DevOps and do full stack development, you're solid, man. You really are. You should have no problem getting a role. You just got to get those software skills under your belt. I think that's a good way that Kevin put it, that the language, knowing the language that you're trying to work in my case it's JavaScript, is a must know. Now, knowing a framework will make you marketable. I think that's a good way of putting it, because you will need to know both, without a doubt. But you're definitely gonna have to know the language. Because in reality, we don't do vanilla JavaScript anymore. Vanilla JavaScript in terms of DOM manipulation, like you should be aware of what's going on, how things work. But in reality, when it comes to web development, specifically front-end development, we use frameworks. It's just the way, it's the name of the game now, all right? No one's bringing back the document.getElementById. That shit, those days are done, right? No one's doing document, .getElementById.ClassList.add class name. That shit died a long time ago, and we're okay with it in web development, man. So that's just how it goes on the front end. Now, should you know that the vanilla JS world exists? Yes, because sometimes you may have to write 2 lines of vanilla JS because the way of doing it in the framework doesn't exist or is pain. But it is worth noting that that you will be doing front-end development 95% of the time in a framework. Usually Angular or React, sometimes jQuery if you're unlucky. Algorithm work kind of makes me nervous, as most of what I've been practicing is front-end or back-end dev. Well, algorithm work is front-end and back-end. All it is taking that language and being able to solve things with equations, being able to solve things, getting solutions to problems. Front end, it's not front end or back end in the sense that you're building an application. It's front end or back end, and so you're using that library or that language to solve an algorithm. What's going on, Michael? I haven't seen you in a while, man. What is DevOps? DevOps is essentially the people who help push out your code to various environments and also make sure that it builds and that it compiles and that there's no conflicting issues with other repos and things like that. They're kind of the last result, the last wall of defense to making sure that kind of the way that to answer really the point of DevOps is DevOps sends your code out to the world and different environments and maintains it. They're the people who maintain the servers. They're the people who make sure that the code goes to the right location and is backed up and all that sort of stuff. Sort of the way that the process works when you do a project is you get requirements. I should rephrase that. You get some requirements or no requirements or shitty requirements. And then occasionally, every once in a blue moon, you get good requirements. So that's where it starts, right? So that's where it starts. And then you as a developer, depending on what requirements you got, you start building, right? You start tinkering away. You start making the change. You go sometimes, so you got to go back and forth, get more requirements because you don't usually get very good requirements. And then you start building stuff. So let's say you go through this whole process, you built out the application, you would then send it to QA. QA's job is to test it and make sure that they find issues with their code. That's it. That's the gist there. They find issues with the code. When they're done, they then send it to DevOps. They don't like literally send it to DevOps, but the next step is DevOps typically, who will then try to build the code. And usually there's processes set up. And if it builds, it'll go out into the world and work just fine. Now, every environment's different, so I'm giving a very rough rundown of what what certain environments are like. But so QA says, okay, you know what? Good job. It's good to go. Bam, let's release it. So it goes to DevOps. Then DevOps has systems that are in place that will then send it up or around. And if DevOps has any questions, they'll come back to you. And that's the gist of it, though. My dude, where's our DevOps dude that was just in here? Aki Kumar? Are you still in here? What do you think about Go? I heard that since the release 8 years ago, Google's making major moves to push it harder. Can you give me a little rundown on that? Appreciate you. Honestly, Jorge, I can't, man. I haven't been following up with it. I pretty much only care about JavaScript right now. Until there comes a time in which JavaScript just isn't killing it. I honestly probably won't be diving into it. Anki Kumar, congratulations, my friend. You are the winner of our course. I'm going to give you a copy of my Learn Angular by Projects Part 1, which is now going to be renamed Angular 360 Part 1 moving forward. But I appreciate that you were going from DevOps to trying to be a developer, and if I can help you by giving you a free course, that will be it. You'll be our winner for today. Go ahead and enter your email in chat so I can send you a link later on. I need to start going to meetups more, man. I haven't gone to one in like 3 months, which is a disgusting amount of time. They closed the one that was around the corner, so I haven't gone since. R.I.P. Iron Yard, man. Yeah, I honestly haven't seen anything with Go. When I was looking for jobs, I did see it a couple times, though. I did see it a couple times. But, all right, my friend. I will send this to you immediately after this live stream ends. So just hang out for a little bit, and I'll hook you up. This is bullshit. Hey, when you have your own YouTube channel, you can pull all the shenanigans you want, baby. Yeah, I wish I could help you out. I don't. Ever heard Eminem Untouchable? I don't really listen to music, guys. I know it's kind of strange because a lot of people's music is like life. The music I listen to are like anime and like gaming remixes. That's what I listen to. Although, I mean, it's not to say that I haven't listened to rap. I just don't anymore. Hey, Kevin, you're a senior developer. So let me ask you, what's your advice for somebody like me trying to increase their salary as fast as possible? I think I already know what it is because we're on the same page, but I'm just curious. I want to know what your advice is. I was late for the giveaway, eh? Sorry, DevX, man. Who was the first white rapper? Ice, baby. I don't know, man. Could be Vanilla Ice. I love to watch me. Hey, man, when you got eye candy like me, I understand. Thank you, sir. Beastie Boys. Do things that no one wants to do. Yeah. I don't want to do them either. I'm going back to school. No one wants to do that shit. Do I use Atom or Sublime? I use Visual Studio Code. I highly encourage you to use it. I think it's amazing. It's the best text editor I've ever used. And Microsoft makes it, coincidentally, so surprise. It's the truth. I'll investigate, man. I'm going in, so I have these weekly one-on-ones with my boss. Just sort of like 15-minute sit-downs. Hey, what's going on with you? Are you all right? You know, how are things? And I'm asking for more work, man. I'm bored. I need more work. I'm usually waiting on the backend devs to finish building like APIs, and so I finish what my work is on things, minus having to hook things up and like a day's worth of work or half day's worth of work for when the API actually works. So I'm waiting on these things, and I don't touch it for like a week or two. I'd rather they just flood me with projects. So that's going to be what I'm going to be talking about in this next meeting. So maybe just give me it all. Just throw it at me. I'd rather have too much work than not enough, man. Ever done Android coding with Java or on it with Java on Android Studio? A very long time ago for a very short amount of time. Yeah, I was really excited to do Android development, but I just didn't like Java, man. I just couldn't. I don't know. It's also very, very early on in the programming world for me. So, Rappin' Rodney, hey, just wait till the coding god drops his beats or his bits and bytes. I hope React Native sucks less. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't touched React Native. That was something that was going to be in the nano degree. Do you think someone working with React Angular should be a master of CSS/design? God, I hope not. Because I'm definitely not. I'm not very good at design. I'm not very good at CSS. But no, I mean it helps. You'll get better over time, right? I've become so dependent on Bootstrap, it's disgusting. But they're really different roles in reality. So my advice is just try and get better at everything slowly. But no, you don't need to be good at CSS to be working with React or Angular. I started an Ionic project. We do these hackathons where basically for the last 2 hours every Friday we get to build stuff. And I started an Ionic project. It was pretty interesting. I haven't dove deep into it quite yet, but I definitely started a project in it. People say programs like Wix will cut into the web designer space. That's why you don't want to be a web designer. You want to be a web developer. Big difference. Also, that's why you don't want to learn things like Wix and WordPress, and you don't want to work for the mom and pop businesses of the world. I really appreciate you just sitting there and answering all these questions. Have you been keeping up with any other YouTubers? What do you mean, like keeping up? I don't know what who DHH is. But I mean, I do watch other coding channels. I'm a big fan of Chris Hawks. I'm a fan of John Sonmez. Come on, get up here. Come on. All right. Ooh. A sticker. So if that's what you're talking about, yeah, I mean, I do watch other YouTubers. But I don't like intimately follow them. Yeah, John. I mean, John's got it together, man. GSDD. You're meeting Eli the computer guy? Nice. Top 5 coding YouTubers in your opinion. Well, I did a video on this, but I would say in terms of tutorials, Traversing Media I think does an excellent job of giving an introduction to tutorials. Especially he's putting out different content every week, a couple times a week. He's doing a very excellent job. It's no surprise that he's blowing up. I think Chris Hawks is a breath of fresh air. I think he gives great advice, and in general will tell you like it is, which is something I appreciate. Although Simple Programmer doesn't focus too much on coding, I think when he gives very excellent advice. And I also think that it's worth taking in a little bit of what's the word I'm looking for? Life experience and knowledge and things. I also really like, although he doesn't do, I think he's running out of content. He doesn't do the newer stuff like Traversing Media does. Derek Bonos. I used to watch a lot of Derek Bonos. Right now he's on Let's Build Some Games type of stuff. I think he's focusing on like rebuilding Super Mario and like Zelda and stuff like that. But Derek Bonos has always done super high quality tutorials. And then there's Academind who does great tutorials as well. Do the top 5 and top 5 ways not to get a dev video voice. What is a dev video voice? I do want to do a top. I have a super cringe video that I'm thinking about recording. It's called Top 5 Ways Not to Date as a Developer. So I have some stuff coming out for that. It's been an idea that's marinating. That will be the next top 5. Oh yeah, Derek is great. I'm just saying in terms of web development, what I'm interested in, he's been staying away from, web development changes so much. I don't expect anybody to stay up to date who isn't doing web dev full time. Yeah, the not videos are always fun to film. I think they're gonna be I'll try to do one a month, but it's hard to come up with something that's a serious topic or that's related to it. Stinker. You know what's funny about that is those are actually some of my most disliked videos. Even though I have like 100 likes to 5 dislikes, usually I get like 0 to 1 to 2 dislikes on a video, but those have really high amount of dislikes, partially because I think they hit people a little too hard. Like the people who that stuff is true for get super salty about it, and they dislike it. Because in reality, it's supposed to be a joke, but in reality, those people exist as well. The people who put in 2 hours a week when they're just learning to code and don't understand why they don't learn to code type of thing. So the not videos, the robe is becoming a staple of the not videos. So if you see a thumbnail with the not videos, you know it's going to be lit, all right? Is there any overlap between analytics and web development projects? It depends on your project, but if you're building a lot of times when you're working for a business, they're always going to want some sort of data analytics on it. And as a developer, you may have to build I've built a report admin tool. I've a report tool where you're basically building custom reports to be filtered in and out. So there definitely is. If you're building a project in which you need to visually represent, ugh, buddy. All right, visually represent the. Oh, visually represent the. Get out of here. The dashboard, the code. Then yes, there definitely is an overlap, but it just kind of depends about where you are in your project. But yeah, there can be. But actually going and getting the data analytics, that's usually not your job. It's usually your job to visually represent the data analytics as well as give options on how to filter. You should hold a cigar and cognac while you're doing your not how-to vids plus robe. Next time I think I'll have my sunglasses on. That's all I'll do. We'll just progressively get more outlandish. Can you do a video / course on reporting? Like on building a report tool? That's actually gonna be part 3. Yeah, I gotta finish my other 2 courses. I gotta incorporate Tito moving forward. The not videos are fun. I just try to have like a message at the end, and so the dating one doesn't really have a message. It's just supposed to be funny. For a while, I've been wanting to do a video about developer pickup lines, and this is going to be the video. We're going to go through like the top 5 dev pickup lines. But I'm going to have an intro as to like how you can shoot women down so that you can focus on coding. That's basically just a bit. It'll come out good. I got some stuff marinating up here that's fire. All right. The not videos are always designed to go hard. We don't want to hold back. Should be your alter ego. Yeah. That should be it. It'd be like, well, so for a while I've wanted to do like a Francis-like skit. Dolan the Wix developer. Oh my god, that's so good. Dolan the WordPress developer though. That should be it. So like I've been for a while trying to come up with a skit to do like a Francis-like character from Boogie. Who has like, if you're not familiar with Boogie, he's a gaming YouTuber. He does like gaming news, and then he has this character he does called Francis, where his Francis has like anger issues and screaming and yelling, and so that was kind of what I was going for in the not videos, but I never fully developed it. So Dolan, Dolan the WordPress developer. Oh my god, that might be it. Dylon, because I spit hot code, baby. All right. That might be it. Could have an impact on future jobs? Maybe. They're funny videos, man. They're not like too risque. They're over the top, that's for sure. We're talking about developer humor. You think that's too risque? I mean, your point is very valid, without a doubt. Kevin, have you watched the 2 videos that we have recorded by chance? I'm a little Tito, short and fat. Here is my pooch and here's my fat. Francis yells and curses every 5 minutes. Yes, I don't, I mean, I will curse a little, I'll be honest, but not too much. But it's going to be fun. I try to keep it clean. Yeah. What's that? Ooh. Tito. What is it? Are your cat senses tingling? Are you going to protect Daddy or are you going to run? What's up, buddy? Hey. That's just your mama making noise. Tito gets a little skittish sometimes. Hey, buddy. He just farted too because he got scared. Now it stinks. That's my life. Am I drunk? I'm not drunk. It's 9:30 a.m. I haven't been drunk at 9:30 a.m. in about a decade. I think on vacation, just to put it in prep in context. All right, guys. So it has been fun. I usually do these about once a weekend. I like to end my live streams on sort of a final thought, on sort of a something to give you to reflect on. As always, we'll do these every Saturday, where I'll try to answer what questions I can. If you want to support me, because these live streams can't be monetized for whatever reason, every time they they demonetize the live stream specifically, you can by going to patreon.com/codingtutorials360. You can of course buy the course, and you can of course buy the clothes, which should be in the link of the description of the video as well, which is pretty cool. Let me see if I can show you guys real quick. Before we do our final thought, we're going to be probably releasing 1 to 2 designs a month. Right now it's 1 design as we're trying to work out the details, but it's something that I'm excited about because I like developer clothes and I don't have enough of them. So instead, I'm just going to make ones that I like. And so we're launching our Bro Do You Even Code stuff right now. So if you're interested in that, I'm going to show you real quick what it is. Oh, the page doesn't want to load. Here it is. So I just ordered a t-shirt for myself, but if you want to support me, you can by going and getting all the Bro You Don't Even Code stuff. I'll have a video coming out later in the week promoting it. But All right, one last question before I do my final thought. Before you end, what question would you ask you if you were a newbie today? I don't understand your question. If I was a noob, what would I ask me? Oh, okay. So I understand the question now. So in this case, I am a noob. Well, what question as a noob, knowing what I know now, would I want somebody to tell me or give me a good answer for? Okay. Let's see. That's a very good question. What do I know now? Well, I guess it'd have to be the side project, and I would say the question I would ask is, what would you tell me if I'm the past me and I ask the future me, said, what would you tell me to become a good developer, a better developer? I would say start a side project, code daily, and that's it, man. Really, start a side project and code daily, and find that the side project, make sure you love it. And if you don't love it, start another side project. And once you find the one that you love, in my case, it's YouTube. Once you find the one that you love, you'll be learning so fast because you'll want to learn. You're excited about it. You're like, oh, I want to add this one feature to my project, and how do I do this and that? That would be what I would tell myself is, how can I become a better developer? How can I learn development the fastest? Code daily and start a side project. That would be what I would tell myself. So on that note, let's talk a little bit about, for our final thought, mistakes of the past as learning as a developer. One of the things that a lot of people are surprised by is that until recently, until I already had a developer job, I never spent $1 on a course. I never spent $1 on on anything to learn software. And that was a mistake of mine as a past self, is I should have taken the $10 sales that were on Udemy and purchased an in-depth course on a tutorial, because there's only so much free content on YouTube, right? Not that you can't learn everything, but sometimes it's out of date. Sometimes it's hard to maintain it, right? And you make pennies on the dollar releasing stuff on YouTube versus releasing it on Udemy. So as you're out there learning, and I know a lot of us are trying to better our life situation and struggling, and I totally get it, but don't make the mistake that I made and just using free materials. Go ahead and break out $50 every couple months to go and pick up some quality courses and learn from them. And that's today's final thought, is be willing to invest time, energy, and a little bit of money in your future, and it'll take you a long way. So thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you guys so much. I'll see you in the next video. Have a wonderful Saturday. And if you're around in about 30 minutes, I'll probably start live streaming me coding on some projects and finishing up some things. So I'll see you guys then. Bye.